I'm Angelo Firenze, and I would like to welcome you to today's edition of the Belmont Business Report. A Belmont Business Report is an opportunity for us to meet with various business leaders and business owners in Belmont to learn a little bit about what they do over there, to learn more about their business. And today we have with us Leon de Magistris of Leon and Company on Leonard Street in Belmont Center. He's in the first floor of the old carriage house, right at the beginning of Belmont Center as you come down Leonard Street, and has been in Belmont for many, many, many years. I think the first time I saw your salon was when you were across the street on the other side. So how long have you been in Belmont, Leon?
I don't want to say the years, but yeah, I'd say 38.
38 years. Wow.
Because you're right, I was across the street.
Yeah, that goes back goes back a few years. And,
that's right.
And, I remember where you were there, and so how did you end up choosing Belmont as a place to put your salon when you decided to go into business for yourself?
Well, I was very young, and I was working in Newton, and people were telling me that I should go to Belmont because there were a lot of rich women.
A lot of rich women.
In Belmont. This is the truth now. This is so. Naturally, I started looking at towns when I was ready to open a salon, and I found Robert's salon, who was across the street before.
Right.
And so I purchased a partnership with him.
Okay.
He was looking for a partner. Then he retired, I took it over, and so I've been there ever since.
Oh, wonderful. Now, how did you get involved in hairstyling to begin with?
The main reason, I guess, was my uncle, but originally my parents wanted me to become a priest. That did not work. So I had to find a profession.
Yeah.
And my uncle, Uncle Leon is his name, was his name also, he passed away. He used to come to Italy all the time with a bag full of dollars. I mean, he was very well off. So I said, hey, I had to find something. A priest did not work. School wasn't working too well for me. So I'm going to become a hairdresser. I came to Boston. He taught me how to do hair.
How old were you when you came to Boston?
I was 17 years old.
And was he was a hairstylist?
Yeah, on Charles Street.
On Charles Street.
Yeah,
okay.
He was very famous, very well known. When in the 60s, he used to charge $75 for a haircut and a perm.
In the
1960.
Wow.
So he was very well known. He had the real rich people of
Beacon Hill.
Beacon Hill, you know, and the Kennedys were his client, that kind of thing he had, you know. So, and this is why I became a hairdresser, and I really loved it, and been pretty good.
Well, you certainly have a flair for it, because I remember when our kids were in school together, we'd be meeting and you'd be running off to Paris or Rome or someplace for a fashion show, and you used to go over there to do the styles over there, and I assume you're still doing some of that?
Not as much as before, because they don't pay as well today. Yeah. You know, they got smarty designers. But yeah, I did a lot of that. And I still go to Paris, Milan, Rome, but more as an observer and keep my contact. But the show itself, no, I sort of slow down that part of it.
So I'm sure it's important for you to stay abreast of the latest styles and in trends and so forth. In fact, I heard someone talking the other day about hair extensions.
Well, that's,
Is that something that's...
we're doing a lot of that. But not, I shouldn't say a lot of that. We have people that want to get a fuller look, so we put hair extension in it. And you never know. Some of the people that you see on TV have hair extension, and you will never know they have it. You know, it's... but you have to stay on top, especially for me. If I'm not on top of the game, I'm going to get out.
Yes.
You know, so for me it's very important, that part, because that gives me satisfaction, be on top of the game.
Yeah. I know when I walk past Leon's, you get that great chair right by the window there, and I look in, there are quite a few other people in there as well. How many people do you have in the salon altogether?
Total staff varies between 18, 20 or so, and I have 13 full hairdressers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we have a very successful salon. We do about 700 to 800 people a week.
Wow.
Yeah, no, we do a lot of people. No, we bring a lot of business in Belmont Center.
Yeah,
No,
fantastic.
very,
I know
very
you have a
happy.
lot of very famous clients. I know we're not going to talk about
No,
any of them,
right,
but
we won't go
as you watch TV, you see your name pop up every so
Right.
often. Hairstyles done by Leon. So,
Right.
but there are a lot of people that we see on TV all the time that are clients of Leon's, and
We have a
uh,
good prominent clientele that we have clients that travel 2 hours to come and see us. So
wow.
we do
Yeah.
have a good foundation.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, if someone comes into Leon's for the first time, or a customer or client's been there for quite a bit, they come in and they say, "Gee, I feel like changing my hairstyle," or "What do you think I'd look good in?" You would advise them on various hairstyles if they want to be abreast of the latest styles, and you would work with them in developing a style that works for them.
Of course.
Yeah.
We have a process that we go through in that case. What we do, we first listen to what the client needs and desire is, her lifestyle or his lifestyle. And then after listening to what their desire is or are, because sometimes they have different ones, we try to select the right and appropriate look for that person. And we make suggestions, and for the most part, they're accepted. Sometimes somebody will say, "No, I don't want to change." Well, we say, "That's fine. Let's make a compromise." But if we do hold the line, though, if a client insists on doing something that we don't feel is right, we don't do it.
You won't do it.
No.
That's,
We say,
interesting.
"Sorry, but we just don't get along."
Yeah. So interesting. So if somebody comes in as a brunette that you think wouldn't look pretty as a blonde, you might try and talk her out of it. Is that
No.
or him? I guess I shouldn't say automatically.
Yeah, no,
but,
we do a lot of men color, so that's
Yeah.
not a problem for us. But no, we will talk people out of it. Something we believe is not right. But if they insist on doing something that's completely wrong, let's say somebody that says, "Brunette, I want to be white hair or blonde,"
Yeah.
and we feel that's wrong, then we say, "No,
Yeah.
go someplace else."
Now, occasionally I would imagine somebody would come in with very long hair and, this one at shoulder length or longer, and finally decide that they're tired of the long hair and want to cut it all off and go to something very, very different. Obviously, if it was in keeping with what you feel would be appropriate for them, you would do that. And tell us a story. Was there ever a time when you've done that and somebody said, "Oh my God, I don't like it"? I mean,
No, I could tell you a few of those stories, Angelo. We have had some few women cry in my chair throughout the years. Thank God, it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
See, hair is such it's a unique thing. It's part of you. So when you take somebody's hair off, you're not just cutting and changing a style like I'm buying a dress.
Yeah.
Because you buy a dress, you could either return it or keep it in the closet if you don't like it. But once the hair is cut, especially somebody with long hair is cut off, the first moment, there's so much emotion goes through that person,
Yeah.
that woman. Oh my God! I see them grabbing the chair like they want to break the chair. So it's an experience but we understand, we respect that, and if the client is not happy, we try to work with that person. Always.
You could maybe go back to the hair extensions at that
Yeah,
point.
right, that's all. We can always use that.
But anyhow, okay, good. I can't let this opportunity pass, the chance for you to sit down and chat with you about a subject that's near and dear to my heart, and I think many of those in Belmont, the fire station in Belmont.
Yes.
We're all excited about you boys taking over the first floor of that fire station and putting in a destination restaurant. I'm not sure if you've chosen a name yet, but we're many of us, all of us, are waiting with bated breath. Can you sort of spend a few minutes and tell us a little bit what
Sure.
the plans are for that?
Yeah, sure. No, the name is Il Casale,
Il Casale.
right, which means, well, you know what it means, but we'll tell the audience it means the old house, the farmhouse,
Right.
where people, they have homes in the country, and it's used by the sharecropper.
Right.
That's Il Casale.
Uh-huh.
Casale. So that's what the name is, because they felt, my sons felt that would be appropriate for, one, it's an historical site.
Right.
Two, Belmont was a farming town, and also because being historical, it's old, so it fits the part. But also, there is another part of it why they chose their name, because the food is going to be connected to that kind of food, which meaning like would be rustic Italian,
Mm-hmm.
true Italian food, where Restaurant Dante in Cambridge, they do more high-end, fine food.
Right.
This will be still fine food, but not on the high-end side. The prep work is not going, the preparation will not be so elaborate.
Yeah. So
Is
will
that-
not be as pricey as maybe some
No,
other fine
it would
restaurants,
be
where it'll be
more-
more in keeping with a family that wants to go out for a special occasion, or even for a dinner once, or couple 2 or 3 times a month to go out and get something to eat. And I know I've seen some of the sketches. There's plans for a little seating outside in the
Yes.
in the spring and summer, and I know that you'll have a full alcohol license there, so that you'll be able to get a glass of wine or a little bit of harder spirits if you want. So,
Right, right.
One thing I'm sure of, and as it relates to some of our interaction, the wines I've always had with you, I've always thoroughly enjoyed. So I'm sure there'll be a phenomenal wine list as well. So this is primarily being done with the supervisory of Dante as the chef, and then Damien will be sort of running the restaurant. Is that the way that's going to
Right,
work?
Dante is the chef, and
Yeah.
he will be the chef of both places,
Yeah.
Restaurant Dante and this one. And then there is a chef coming in from Italy
Oh, really?
to work in Belmont,
Uh-huh.
because this would be more true Italian, would not be so we wanted to have, they chose to have somebody from Italy who's been cooking Italian food.
Uh-huh.
And it's interesting. There was an article in the New York Times this past week where it said that Italy is losing some of the taste of Italian culture in food,
Yeah.
because a lot of the chefs now are not Italian in Italy.
Yeah.
So what's happening, and this is true, because if you're not Italian, you don't have the same feeling as you would if you are, because you're born, it's embedded in us. And so they chose to bring in a chef from Italy, work under Dante.
Yes.
It will be like a chef de cuisine,
Yeah.
will not be the chef.
Well, wonderful. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm all excited. I think we're looking at kind of November timeframe for the opening, hopefully.
We hope so.
Yeah.
Our contract is ready to go at any time. So we just hope that Brian Burke, the owner of the property, will be finished with this part, and
Yeah.
then we go
So
in.
that you can go in and begin doing yours. I think we're going to mention just real quickly, Dante started cooking when he was in the middle school, if I remember
Right.
correctly.
Yes,
in fact,
yes.
if as the story was told, that he was actually cooking meals for the teachers up there
Yeah.
for credit at one point. And I know he loves to teach, and very recently did a cooking show at the middle school. And I wasn't sure. I saw a couple of clips of that, and I wasn't sure exactly what he was cooking, but I do know I was getting hungry. So
It's good, yeah.
it's very excited. I'm very excited as a Belmontian, as a resident of Belmont. I think a destination restaurant in Belmont Center is going to be very healthy, very excited for Belmont, and will be an extension of what you bring, both through the hair salon, now through the restaurant, to revitalizing Belmont Center. And so, as a resident, I'm very appreciative of that, and I'm
Well, thank you.
I'm delighted to hear about that. Leon and company. The phone number is Why don't you give it to us again? 617?
617-484-4777.
4777 in Belmont. Call Grace. I think she takes the reservations.
My
Your wife is in there
one
with the
of
phone. So
receptionists. We have 3 receptionists. She's
Yeah,
one of them.
and
She
so-
runs the front desk.
Front
Yes.
desk. And so you can call and go down there, and you can have Leon work on your hair or one of the other 12 or 13 stylists that are there. So
Sure.
I want to thank you very much for joining us today, Leon. It's been fun talking with you, and good luck. And I can't
Thank
wait
you.
for the first meal in the restaurant.
Okay.
Thank you
we'll
very
have
much.
fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.